So that is bang on quarter past. So let's swap over to this tab here. I think I always do for a bit of a start, just to kind of tee it off and see where we are. So scrolling down here, we are now on the 16th of November, believe it or not. So 16th of November, we're going to look at saving time with Lumio, really focusing on the templates, the ready-made resources, and hopefully kind of really saving you time because there's so much stuff on there, just to kind of get you up and running with those lessons straight away, rather than having to spend too long planning with that as well. So let's get started. I have jumped into my Lumio account here. If you're not familiar with Lumio, just as a quick start, it's just a website, hence why I'm doing this on the machine here. It can be used on any machine, so from an iPad, Chromebook, Mac, Windows PC, smartboard, any other branded board. It can just run straight from a website. Great if you are obviously doing it in front of class and you can get students connected, but equally if you're doing this like a TA, for example, learning support assistant, in a separate breakout room, then they can then run this session from their device and the students can still connect and participate from their devices as well, which is fab. So that being said, let's just jump in. That's what Lumio is. I can then have it on my machine. They can connect on their machine. We've already got that two-way engagement rather than just that one-way front of class delivery for that there. So within Lumio itself, we've gone over this on separate weeks. I can import my content here. This is just a PowerPoint that I dragged and dropped, and we've used that on before. This is a lesson. I've actually created it completely within Lumio itself. And because my IQ board is synced up to the my Lumio account, those lessons are syncing straight up onto this lesson here, onto my Lumio account as well. And then you can see here, I've just added in some extra resources that are pre-made, good to go from that. So as a place to start, I'm going to go there. Lumio library. Right at the top here. So within your Lumio library, first of all, if you want to go and you want to connect this at any point, just go to the website Lumio, lum.io, and it will let you in. Excuse me. And all of these are already in here. So now you will notice some of these have got a slight North American focus, just because most of our development team, resource team are in North America. So you'll see lots of Thanksgiving ones at the moment right at the top here. These featured ones do change. So let's just have a look at those at the moment. So you can see, obviously, there's lots of Thanksgiving ones at the moment up there. But there were different Veterans Days. Obviously, we could use those as well. And then some more others about some immersive reader, some scientific notations, and then some really good just starting ones in there. And obviously, recently, there's the Halloween one, so it's going back. And those are the featured ones that have kind of gone over time within there. But what's really good is kind of scrolling down this list here. Now, there's no point in me kind of going and saying, well, look at this one, look at this one. Essentially, it's find some ones that are your subject related. I'm going to pick out a few that I like, but obviously they'll be very different for you itself. I quite like these placeholder ones at the top here, so I'm just going to click on this one. And what's really good is you can actually see that lesson and actually go through it to actually have a bit of a play with it and actually see what the one is here as well. Drag and drop these in. I can see whatever's available for a student here. Go down and see that this is made by a separate company and they've got their links in there. Again, if I save that to my library, I can delete that slide if I want to, or I can use it as a resource and go and find those bits and pieces if I want to myself. But those resources are there. Click save to my library, and then that's going to be in my library. What else have we got down here? Different STEM activities, some great coding resources down there, some fractions, reading wall. Let's just go down. So some history ones here. Let's actually expand on those. So here we've come partnered with Footsteps of History, and you can see all their resources within there. They've kind of brought those onto it. And if I want to do a particular here about the roadmap, sorry, not roadmap, yeah, roadmap games about the silk trade, I can click on that one. I can see there's very different games within this lesson itself, including a label reveal. And we'll look at how to make these in a moment. So I've got this label reveal here. I can click save that to my library here. And then if I click back onto my library, these are the ones then I've saved, and that one's being brought in as well. So finally, just in that Lumio library itself here, we're just going to look at other resources. So if I can search them here, grade levels, just add one, and then that'll be the English year levels within there itself. And then I can different subjects as well. So if I wanted history lessons, maybe with an English focus as well, I can put silk, and then different bits and pieces in here. So there's that one there. I might do adjectives, maybe not in history as well. Maybe if I spell adjectives correctly, that would help. So if I want a lesson on adjectives, there's loads of different ones on here, and you can see that I can just go through all this map here. Some of them bought in by people from Smart, others from the Smart ambassadors, and they can then, you've just got loads all looking at bits and pieces within there about that look at adjectives. So loads of really good resources that are ready to use. Go for it straight within there. Hopefully that'll really save you time within there itself. The other way to kind of look at these bits and pieces here, and again, to save you time, is by adding in different games, different activities. Now, these ones here, just going to look at a few in this game-based activities, because we've kind of very much breezed over these in other weeks. Excuse me. And then this one here, these games and assessments, game-based activities here, are really easy to make, really fun to play, but going to save you so much time or photocopying in the long run as well. So I'm just going to start by looking at this label reveal one here. So within the label reveal, yes, I can photocopy a sheet and have that label reveal for a student itself, but actually to be able to have a digital copy of it, because I found with diagrams, sometimes it's obviously if they need to stick it in their book and actually have that as evidence, go for it. But if they just looking at it or using as a reference point, when I'm in my classroom, when I had it at the front of the classroom, it was always, oh, I can't see that word, or that word needs kind of spelling out, or a child's coming up and down and copying spellings, or kind of dyslexic wise trying to copy those spellings, not just dyslexic, but trying to copy those spellings, having to look up and down, took forever, and it was just essentially a copying exercise. But if I can have that in front of me as a digital copy, it's more fun, it's more engaging, and then I can actually have that myself. That being said, let's actually make one. So let's get a picture of heart. Again, I can select one I want here, and I can find one that I want down here. And that one's actually got labels on, so I won't pick that one. I might go for that one at the top. But oh, I quite like that one, but I'm not quite sure if I've got all of the labels in it itself. So let's go for that one. So there is my picture of a heart. And luckily, I have kind of got the spellings and what part is what already done for me over in my side here. So I'm going to be checking and backing back. But any of these bits and pieces here, whatever I want, I can then just click on this. And he says, there we go. And that is the CVSCV. There we go. I don't like that. That's in the wrong place. That's going to go over there. This one here is called the aorta, not with an S at the beginning. There's me doing it so I can type quicker. And I'm going to go here, being the pulmonary artery, and you get the hang of it. So I can then add these labels down here. If I want to change the style, I can. So I can have these as different objects. I can have them all the same color. I'm going to have them a bit random. So let's go for that one there. Again, I can put more into around here. If I want to click more notes, I can put my notes just down here and click finish. And then I've got that handout. So you're bringing your image in, putting those notes around it, and then we've got that straight in front of us. And we can have that there. I can preview that and we can see it. Click on these and he's got these notes. And then that is straight there. Let's just add in a few more of these games here. So I'm going to click on game-based activities and let's choose a rank order. Now I'm going to just, again, looking at time saving, the amount of times that I had a word search, but for each one of these, I'm going to photocopy it and they've kind of done the word search and it's copying somebody else's. If I can have this here really nice and quick and easy, then I've got those word searches straight away for me, and I don't need to worry about that. So I've got a few kind of words here that I can type in. Frequently, gingerly, highly, importantly, perfectly, whatever it might be with here. Slight side note on here, kind of topic on everyone's lips at the moment being the AI. Yes, I can make these AI lists and find them, bring them in. We are currently working on a way of actually bringing that AI tool into this here. So it would be generate a word search on these spelling patterns, and it would then create it for you. So that's what we're working on, just to kind of give you a bit of a nose into the roadmap. I'll be excited when that comes. I've got no guarantee. So but that's hopefully on its way. So again, I can change the difficulty within here. I'm just going to make this a little bit small, not too small, because I can't have those lists. Show the word list, click next. And then here I've got a choice. I've got monsters. I've got different kind of plain backgrounds. For this one here, I'm going to go with, let's go for a jungle theme with the monkeys. Finish that one there. Again, preview this. And then I can send this out to students, and they've got that one straight away. So here's my list here, important. Let's do it all the way across, importantly. And I found that word here. So that was second down. What's really good is when I preview it this time, you'll see, oh, it's in the same place. It normally changes it each time. There we go. So it now importantly is on the top one there. And if we look at other ones, they are all in a different place, and they're all jumbled around the board itself, which is really cool, because then it's different to the person next to you, and you've got different ways to look at it across those. So as we go down making different games in here, there's loads within here. There's more of your formative assessments is this one here, where I can have short answers, polls, whatever it might be within that one. I might add different games in here. Monster quiz is brilliant. A way that I can have then the students really competing against each other on their devices. As their question is answered quicker, then the monster hatches quickly on the board. That's a really fun one to play. Or more like a Wheel of Fortune one here as well. I thoroughly recommend spending a good chunk of time just playing with these, seeing what they're like. If you're not sure, have a click on this kind of top hat here, top hat mortarboard, and you can just see what they do, see what they are. So this flip out one is more of your like choice cards or something like that. So I can add that one within itself there. And loads of different ones here. I was going to make a rank order, but I won't for today, just for kind of for time. So let's click on that one. I can finish that one there. And then that is my game itself. I am going to click start on this one here. I don't know if anyone did click on the link and join. I don't think we have. But just to reiterate you, how do you then send this out to students? Top left here, I've got my students. And from there, I've got a little arrow itself. And then that's the way that students connected. I'm only going to do this briefly today, so don't worry about it too much. But students can click on that link here. Then they can get in, scan the QR code, and then they've got this for them on their device. I can see that someone's joined. Thanks, Gareth. And then if I click on student paste, what that gives then is the students the ability to then have the whole lesson. So it's not just restricted on the one game. You've now got that whole lesson. Great if you've got like a differentiated word search, or on different spelling patterns. They can do one, then the next, then the next. It might be that you're adding in a whiteboard, and then this whiteboard here, I can type in, please write out your spellings. So I can put that one there. Again, really saving you time with this one here. What I can do with this one, again, clicking on my people, I can see Sarah's in as well. I put it to individual handouts. So then when the students have done that one, maybe they can come to this page here, and then they can write out those spellings on a separate piece. Can use this like a mini whiteboard. Again, really saving you time, not having to give the students that whiteboard, get them to hand them all out. I spent hours handing out whiteboards, finding whiteboard pens, cleaning hands afterwards. But if you can have those mini whiteboards in front of them, where they can just click start on these here, and then in Sarah's, I can say, oh, look, what have you done? Rather than that show me, I can actually say, type in here, actually type hello back to Sarah, or you can write your spellings in that one there itself. And there will then all appear up on here. So I am going to end that one now. So thanks for you two that have joined. And hopefully that's been useful to everybody else as well. So what we've really drilled in this afternoon is, here's Lumio. There's some great resources. Save yourself a few hours or two. And it's a great resource. In that Lumio library itself, pre-made content, or if I'm adding new, or if I actually go into edit, that adding is down at the bottom here. Within that itself here, those game-based activities hopefully should really save you time, should really be fun and engaging for the students, and they will then help you, I suppose. At the moment, there is data coming back on 3 of these: rank order, match them up, and super sort. That data for the rest of those is coming for all of them, so bear with, and that data will be in, and I'll be able to export that content as well. Just finally looking at updates as well. If you click on these 3 little dots, you can now see that I can export this lesson as a PDF. So it will take that content out, and now I've got this lesson to be able to take somewhere else and save it somewhere else as well. If you do want to take that lesson with you, that export as PDF is now included in there as well. Super. So we've got a few minutes left just as we're kind of coming to a bit of a close here. So I haven't seen any questions that have popped through in the chat. So if you have got anything, feel free to pop that in there as well. I did just click on this link at the top here. I don't usually, so I'm just going to click on this one. If you do want to have this displayed in your classroom, what you can actually do is have a printable copy here. And you can see I can press print on this or save it as a PDF, and then it will give me that class ID QR code. I can have that up in my classroom so students can see it. Actually have that modeled the whole time for them, which is pretty cool. Again, I can change guest access. Obviously, I use guest access a lot with people like yourselves coming in, but if you do want to turn that off so they have to sign in with their class ID, you can. And then, of course, if you want to change your number at any point, you've got that in reset link there as well. So I've got a few thanks coming through, so much appreciated for those comments. Really like those coming through as well. Any other questions or anything like that about Lumio or about Smart itself, feel free to ping me an email. I'm recording the session here, so that'll be pushed up onto YouTube, and we'll follow up that tomorrow. You'll get a link for this as well. But apart from that, in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to look at why choose a smart board. So not just looking at the software itself, really diving into the hardware itself, the hardware, and looking at the EdTech solution as a whole and why smart as opposed to anybody else, and really what that smart board and the value add that it gives you for that as well. So hopefully we'll see you then. So with that, I can't see any other questions, but I much appreciate the thanks and those comments that have come through that as well. So with that, I'll leave it and hope you have a good rest of the afternoon, and I'll catch you again soon. Take care. Bye now.